Have you always wanted to start your own business? Do you have an innovative idea or an invention, but just don't know how to turn it into a company? Are you already in business and need some help growing? The BRF's Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program can help. At EAP, we work alongside you, helping you with things like financial modeling, funding strategy, pitch preparation, and marketing strategy. So what are you waiting for? Go to eapla.com today and set up a time to talk with our team. Let EAP help you launch or grow your business in North Louisiana today.
Welcome to back to On the Cusp. It has been a lot of fun.
Wow.
Matt's back with me for season 6, and today for this episode, we got Ben Whalen with us.
Yeah.
And to us, okay, Ben, we're going to let you talk in a second, but you are the pivot master, okay? So tell us about what got you started on this entrepreneurial journey.
Man, so my whole journey really started with a pivot. So, I was working for a retail technical services company in Chicago called Flex, formerly Flextronics. I was a retail technical services trainer where I onboarded staff and did web-based trainings. I was Zooming before Zoom was Zoom. Before the pandemic, I was doing
didn't learn
webinars.
It in the pandemic like the rest of us?
I already had my account set up. Doing that type of work. And while I was in Chicago, that's where I really kind of learned a lot about my affinity towards like natural ingredients and natural products. That's where I discovered that, because growing up here in Shreveport, I didn't know what, vegetarian, vegan food or holistic health. I didn't know any of that stuff.
That's right. It was all fried.
It was everything was fried, even information. Living in Chicago, that's where I kind of discovered all that, and I ended up getting laid off my job in 2017, and life pivot. I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always kind of had a calling to be an entrepreneur. But yeah, now we're we're in a stage of life for myself where those early glimpses have kind of been actualized through the way that I'm progressing and living now. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That's so
fun.
Fun.
Where are you right now? What's your current venture that you're on?
Yeah, so Clean Slate Botanicals, it's a DBA of Ben's Body Basics, my original concept back in 2017. But what we're focusing on is, clean, non-toxic products. We manufacture them all right here in Shreveport. We've, maintained that throughout the course of the transition. That's what we did with Ben's Body Basics. It was just strictly skincare. But as we've developed and grown and been forced to pivot, the pandemic was a huge make or break moment for me. I had to figure it out. And, there was a big pivot, as y'all know, towards more essential needs-based products like hand sanitizer and disinfectants and things like that. But where we're at now, we just opened up our Line Avenue holiday pop-up store. Right. Right there next to the UPS store at 4832 Line Avenue. And we're serving the community clean, quality ingredient products.
No, that's
so I work with a ton. I do markets and events and all that. So I've worked with a lot of pop-up type people in the past. I'll never forget from very early on of meeting you, I was like, there's something different about this guy. He's grinding it out on the drug emporium aisle. Yeah. Like, who does that? Like everybody else is showing up on the Thursday for the market. Ben, he's like packing up his stuff at the drug emporium.
Yeah, man. It's a funny story with drug emporium. I didn't have the guidebook for how to establish a pop-up relationship with a retail entity. I literally just grabbed my products and walked in the front door looking around for somebody who looked like they worked there that would make eye contact with me, and just asked them for a second of their time. That's really how it happened. And I found myself in the office with Mr. George, who was the manager of the drug emporium. And he was very skeptical. He told me, they've had a lot of people come in and try to solicit their product. Just like kind of what you said, he saw a little something in, I guess, my approach or my passion for what I was doing, that he got the sales manager in there right away, and I ended up doing like a full-blown pitch. Wow. And that landed me, which really was just season after season of doing pop-ups in Drug Emporium.
I mean, that was amazing because it showed to me at least, from an outsider, that this guy's serious.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you like I know you now then.
Yeah.
But I immediately like paid attention to the brand because of that.
Yeah.
It was like, wait a minute, like, this is a little, and you see that, and when you're paying attention, I can say like, you know, there's probably 20 people selling jewelry at every one of these pop-ups.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll see the one or two that you're like, they really kind of maybe have something
consistently
here.
participating, taking feedback,
Absolutely.
pivoting, changing
what their
and
look
growing.
is. Yeah.
So you're a perfect example of that. But you're also, from a entrepreneurial ecosystem, you have participated at every level. Okay, in this system.
Yes.
Okay, you've gone to people and asked for help. You've been at Cohab.
Yeah.
Okay, you've progressed from Cohab, to us as an accelerator, and now you got a storefront.
Yes, sir.
What
That's
was
a
the
real
hardest?
journey.
Give me some like along that journey. That's a big journey. How many years has that been?
It's been 6.5 years.
6.5 years. And at some point, just so we get this part of the story, and then I got some pointed questions. But okay, you were Ben's Body Basics.
Yes.
And it was a good-looking brand, and it had its place. And when I heard you change the name, I was surprised.
Yeah.
And then I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, whoa. What are we doing now? This looks different. This feels different. Talk about that, because I don't know this story either.
Rebranding is a tough decision to make. Like, just strictly from like finances.
Because people knew about Ben's Body Basics at that point. You had a following.
You had reoccurring sales. You had very loyal customers.
Yeah, it was a business. So like, it was a hobby at first that I thought was a business, but I learned, I learned that now when I look back, I'm like, oh, I could see. Because, I had people tell me like, this is just like a hobby. And I was like, nah, in my heart, it's not. In my heart, it's a business. And but now, so it was a business at that stage when I rebranded, but it was very challenging. We had all these assets, all these materials that said Ben's Body Basics that weren't going to have a home with the vision that I had moving forward. So the hardest thing was really kind of, just settling into the why. And I had a lot of reasons for why I wanted to rebrand. If we're just talking from a product catalog perspective, I wanted to introduce things that would be cohesive with the voice and the vision and all of that. So things like candles and room sprays and home decor and, the kind of merchandise that I wanted to sell. So things like that. But it was also kind of, I know like there's national brands like Tom's of Maine, and that's what the Ben's Body Basics, I was thinking, man, I want to be like the Tom's of Maine, the Ben's of Shreveport. I want to be serving these products. But man, when I really look at my story, when I look at my growth, it's been a collective effort. It's been the people that put on the shows like yourself. It's been my loyal customer bases, the team members, all of that. And I really didn't feel personally like Ben's, like it was it needed to be the focal point. I wanted it to be more community centric, so that's why I really wanted a clean slate. I wanted to kind of wipe the slate clean and be like, this is a us brand. This isn't a Ben's brand.
Your people, your customer, every time I'm in your place talking to you, there is a customer in there, and you can feel it. You can see their love and like admiration for you.
Yeah, man, when they tell
like
me
it's special.
Yeah, it's special to them. That's what I love. Like I tell people all the time, they tell me like, congratulations, and I'm like, they're like, you did it, and I'm like, no, I'm like, we did it. I'm like, so when we talked about the vendors and the people that kind of shine brighter or that you can tell take it a little more serious, I think for me, what always fueled me is I didn't have like this crutch to fall on. I didn't have this thing to fall back on.
It wasn't a side gig.
It never was a side gig.
When I left,
you were in, all in from the very beginning.
I was the same way too. And Kathleen was always like, well, start it at the same time. And I just jumped.
Right.
And when you jump,
it's scary.
That is like, you better figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of where, that's a good point. Because a lot of those people, that is not their job.
Right. When my customers tell me I'm proud of you, I respond, I'm proud of us.
Yeah, that's
because Like literally me having nothing to fall back on. What you see with the Uptown store is a reflection of all the candles that people bought, of all the skincare products that they bought. Like there's not this infusion of cash coming from anywhere else, not currently. So what my customer base sees is a reflection of their support in the brand.
Dude, that's so awesome.
That is cool. And it's all right here too.
Yeah.
So if you had to look back, I mean, this has clearly not been an easy journey for you. What is the one thing that we in this community could do better?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think that is? What from your to support somebody like you?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I see is that there are a lot of examples of what needs to be done right. It's happening. I think the good word needs to continue to be spread. I think a lot of times when something new comes, people are hesitant to be an early adopter, or they don't want to fall in love with something that's good, that's gonna leave. Like the passion for local is there. I think that just historically, some people, might not see that urgency to support the local brands right at the early stages, and they kind of want to wait and see how it's going to play out.
I was watching a clip from a while back with somebody, and I was thinking about this, and it was like, it's none of our jobs that I know of the people I'm talking to critique businesses.
Yeah.
We all do different jobs. I don't know why everybody thinks they are all of a sudden a professional business critique.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, we should cheer on and hope and pray for every local entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not tell them anything we could cook up in our brain of why they won't succeed.
Absolutely.
Because you don't need that as the guy starting something.
You don't want that.
You don't want
I tell
that.
everybody in EAP, it's not my job or the BRF's job to tell you that's a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah.
That is not what anybody should ever do.
That is harmful to the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
You always talk about the ecosystem. That is something that if you're an entrepreneur, and I see business owners doing it more than anybody.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner talking to a guy that's about to open a business, naysaying him and telling him all the bad things that can happen, you are not helping any of us.
None. You're not.
And I wouldn't say I'm on the other side of it. Like my business is still developing, we're still growing, we're still on our track and our journey to be successful. But I had some of that early on. I had it within my family. I had it within my social circle. And I had it from people I didn't know.
Like 8 years in, my mom said, what exactly do you do? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. But one thing I heard, man, I heard this and it always stood out in my brain. It's Shreveport of all places. I had somebody tell me that. They were like, why would you want to do this in Shreveport of all places? And for me, I'm like, why not?
See, what we need to look at it from the perspective we need to look at it, why not Shreveport?
Right.
Why not do it in Shreveport? And I told the aquarium guys this. I said, look, if you can come in here, open up a small market aquarium and you can last 5 years, dude, you're for real.
Yeah.
Okay? You can do it.
And we
why
have
not?
to do that because you coming here, did you invent clean organic products? No, of course not.
Absolutely
did I
not.
invent anything? No. But we saw things in other places.
Exactly.
And if we don't come bring it here, we just keep falling farther and farther behind.
Well, I agree with all this whole line right here, guys. What we got to do is make it part of our culture that you ought to try that in Shreveport.
Yeah.
You ought to do that in Shreveport.
What if the business leaders of Shreveport started saying that every time?
It'd be interesting to see what would
be
happen.
wild.
Why not? Why not?
Hey, you know what? You should try that in Shreveport.
You know what?
I'm gonna
Any
say that.
analyst, I learned this the hard way. Any analyst can go through and give you 25 reasons why that won't work in that market. And you can either accept it on face value, or you can go, well, here's 25 reasons that says why it could.
Yeah.
Okay? And then take those and run with it. Exactly. So I think if we change it a little bit, let's flip it in Shreveport and start going down the path of why not?
And I could tell you from my perspective, there were these reasons why not, but there were significant reasons of why. One, this is home for me. You know, like I went to Chicago for like a corporate opportunity for some personal reasons, but I came back because this was home. I saw opportunity to provide something here, just like you said. I didn't invent it, but we were able to bring something here that hadn't already been, you know, exuded in our market.
And
there's
you're doing
that.
it right.
And then with my product and, you know, I have the potential with social media and digital marketing to ship my products anywhere in the country.
That's great.
So there's a lot of benefits to being in Shreveport. Not only is it home, but, you know, it's not, you have, you don't have some of the premium costs of like of Chicago or Dallas or
and
whatever.
That part we talked about with your customers having such like loyalty to you and wanting you to, I do think that happens more in Shreveport than you would find in Chicago. I just don't think you would know.
Well, I do know this, your
doorway.
marketing dollars, if you can do it nationally out of Shreveport, are going to go a whole lot further than if you move everything to Dallas, and all of a sudden try to do social media marketing in Dallas and pay Dallas prices.
I believe that as well.
You are going to struggle.
I want to make one more point on our idea about the people saying why you can't do it. Entrepreneurs and business owners that I know, we all have this thing that I never can put my finger on. It's like their personality is just a little different. Some people don't get it. You know, they're like, oh yeah, they're a nice guy, but they have that little thing. I think that little thing is what is in somebody that makes them say, I hear all that, but I know what's in here and I'm doing it anyway.
Yep, absolutely.
Because that's what it takes.
Well, Ben, let's go back to you now for a second here. You got some big changes coming up here on the personal side. What's about to happen?
Yeah, man, monster move, man.
Yeah.
Haley Brooke and myself are engaged to be married, and we're getting married on March 9th of next year, which is a huge life change.
That's
and
right.
We're so excited.
We're happy for you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
so happy. You couldn't be two better people.
Yeah,
both.
we see y'all together running the business, you know, and we're happy for y'all.
Man, thank you so much.
And thanks for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right.